So you want to become a freelancer. Well, you're in luck because today we're going to be talking about just that, how you can become a successful freelancer in as short amount as possible. So without further ado, let's get into this. Okay, so the first step to becoming a freelancer is deciding what kind of freelancer you want to be. So you can be a software developer, engineer, illustrator, graphic designer, lawyer. You can be pretty much any kind of freelancer as long as you can provide your services in exchange for, money. Then you can be a freelancer. So let's just say that for the sake of example here, that you want to become a software engineer. Okay, a freelancer, you're going to want to provide your software development services, right? So you completed step one. Now on to step two. You need to find a platform. There are many platforms. My favorite is Upwork, the one I use most. There are also Freelancer and Guru. Those are sort of the three biggest ones. I found that on Upwork, you can charge. There are the most clients. Their fees are kind of obnoxious, but nevertheless, they have the most clients I noticed personally. And so yeah, that's personally what works for me. There are some great, what I really like is TopTal. If you are a software developer, then you can actually join TopTal. That's actually one of, I'd say the best place to become a freelancer, but that's really only for very experienced professionals. And even very experienced professionals sometimes don't get accepted because you have to know a lot of things about algorithms and things like that. So like engineers from Google work at a TopTal and things like that as freelancers. So yeah, that's sort of a premium freelancer website, and that's the platform you want to choose. The platform they going to want to choose, that's for finding clients, and you can even find clients in real life. It's also something that you can do. So you don't necessarily have to be a freelancer through these platforms, but most people are through these platforms. That's where they find clients. Okay, so you've chosen your platform and you have decided what kind of freelancer you want to be. At this point, you're going to start applying to jobs, right? So you're going to, somebody posts their job and you're going to start applying to it. You're going to be applying, it's going great, you're not getting any responses. You get frustrated, and understandably so. The thing is that in order to get replies, you need to send a message to the job poster, to the employer, that you are a trustworthy individual who can actually get his job done on time and on budget. And, provide actual quality work. So to do this, you're going to need a couple of things. So first of all, you're going to need to set up your profile. That's step three. Set up your profile as well as you can. Spending 6 hours on setting up your profile is a very small price to pay, considering for the amount of jobs you're going to be getting after you set up your profile. After you do that or not necessarily the amount of jobs you're immediately going to be getting, but increase in the amount of jobs that you're going to be getting. So it's certainly going to increase the amount of jobs you're going to be getting. So yeah, definitely very important. Fill out every part of your profile as you can. Take tests. Make the description write it as well as you can. Keep it short but concise, and so on and so on. So yeah, definitely fill out your profile. Very good investment. It's definitely going to help you become a freelancer. Okay, you fill out your profile and you're still not getting any jobs. That's most likely because you have a bad proposal. So you're writing a bad proposal. So the proposal is the initial message that you send to the employer. This is the first impression he's going to get of you. Okay? So this proposal, it needs to also be short. It needs to also be concise. Maybe a little bit shorter than your description. But the most important thing about the proposal is it needs to be quality. So this is the first impression. Remember that. It needs to be of very high quality. And it also needs to be to convince the employer that you respect him. So you have read the entire job posting. You know how to actually do the job. And finally, that why you need to tell him why he should hire you and not somebody else. So that's actually how you should do that. So those are the three most important things to send in a proposal. You need to show them that you respect him and that you have read the entire job posting. Two, that you understand how to do the job. Essentially, the first part is that you understand what job actually needs to be done. The second part is that you know how to actually do the job. And then the third part is that is to tell him why you can do the job better than somebody else. So the proposal is the first impression that the client is going to have of you. So it's important to make it as high quality as possible. The second impression that he's going to have of you is your profile, and that is also going to play a very important factor in whether or not he replies to you and he hires you in the long run. Okay, so you've done those two things. It's great, but you're still not getting any replies to your proposals. Well, that's most likely just because you don't have reviews. This is going to be step 5 at this point. So you need to get reviews. How are you going to get reviews? Well, it's a catch-22 situation, right? So you can't get reviews if you don't, if you can't get jobs, and you can't get jobs if you can't get reviews. So how are you going to supposed to get reviews? Well, what I would do, actually not what I would do, what most people do in this situation, is just apply for free. You know, I'll do your job for free, or I'll do your job for like $5, something like that, right? And I wouldn't quite say that that's a good thing to do, because that creates this economy where people are just working for reviews, and then nobody actually gets to the job, to the actual job, and then nobody actually gets to the paid jobs. And so all the clients are like, oh yeah, I can pay you in reviews, right? So that's totally fine, right? So that's essentially why I wouldn't quite recommend that. I would recommend filling out your profile, making your profile and proposals as high quality as possible, and then maybe charging a little bit less than your actual market rate for your first and second job. But then after that, going right back up to your actual market rate that you would normally charge. Okay, so at this point, you've done those 5 things, right? Yeah, it's five things. But you feel as though still you're charging a little bit less than you should be, right? How do you increase your actual value? Well, to do that, all you have to really do is create a portfolio. That's a great way to show employers that is actually what you can do the work. So to do that, you're going to want to have a very high quality portfolio there for employers to actually see that that's the work that they're actually going to be getting. What's important to note here is that even though you may think that maybe my portfolio isn't the highest quality, but when I actually do the job, I'll do it a little bit better, right? I'll do it maybe much better, right? That's not the way that the employer thinks. So you're going to want to treat your portfolio as exactly what you are going to be giving to the client, right? So that's exactly what you're going to be giving to the client. So make it as high quality as possible, because the way the client sees it, he is going to be getting the exact quality of work that he is seeing there in that actual portfolio. So make it as high quality as possible. Okay, that's 7 things done. At this point, you're maybe a year in, right, to freelancing. And it's going very well. You've increased your rate a couple times now. You're making very nice money, and you're getting a lot of clients. And everything is going really nice, but you feel as though you're a little bit trapped inside this, whatever platform you're using, and that's never in a good place to be. So if you're completely reliant on a platform for your income, that's not a good place to be. So at that point, you're going to want to start starting your own business, or maybe not at that point. Maybe after you're about 3 to 4 months into freelancing and you've got some experience, you're going to want to start deviating away from the platform and creating your own business, essentially. So to do this, what you're going to want to do is set up a website, you can get some clients in real life, and at that point, you may even have so much more work that you can actually handle, and you may want to start, hiring people, I'm sorry. And at that point, you are officially a businessman and less of a freelancer. So at that point, that is sort of getting away from a freelancer. But I would say that a very successful freelancer, the next place he has to go essentially is, creating his own business and then hiring people. And that's essentially what I would say, if a freelancer has reached success, that's essentially where he should go next to become a more successful essential freelancer. He needs to become a businessman. But that's not it for everybody. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can stay a freelancer. That's what a lot of people do. So personally, I'm not a full-time freelancer. I have a job with an actual company, but I do freelance work on the side. But if I was to do it full-time, I would definitely go in that direction. I would start my own business. I would create my own website. I would actually have clients get me new clients. So I could do something like a referral program where I would say, to a client, hey, I did a good job. If you actually refer me to another friend and get me another job, I'm actually gonna, give you back, maybe 5% of the price of the project. And so that creates incentive for the client to, refer new clients to you. And so essentially what that allows him to do, and usually clients, let's say that a client needs a website, he's most likely going to have friends that also need a website. So that's actually how that works, and that's definitely something that's very useful in your creating your own actual business. Okay, and those are essentially we're at 7 steps now. Those are the 7 steps for actually creating your own, or maybe are we at 8, 7 or 8? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, those are the steps to actually becoming a very successful freelancer. The last one wasn't really a step for becoming a successful freelancer. It's sort of where you go after you've reached your peak as a freelancer, sort of. But essentially, that's essentially what I have to say from my experience. I'm going to leave off with one last thought here. Being a freelancer, it's essentially creating your own business either way. So if you're doing it through a platform, you're essentially just creating your own business through somebody else's business, right? So through Upwork or through Google or whatever. And being a business owner is hard. So I'm sure we've all seen this statistic that most businesses don't make a profit until after 5 years. And that's not quite true for freelancing, but it is still difficult. It does require an initial upfront investment, and it can get frustrating if you're a good actual worker. If you can do good work, if you're a good software developer, and if you're a good designer or whatever, but you're a bad businessman, and you're bad at selling yourself, and so as a result, you're not getting jobs, even though you do very good work, and it does get frustrating. But don't stress about it too much. There's never going to be a situation where no people aren't going to hire highly skilled people just because the market is awful. So highly skilled people are always in demand, especially now with the world's economy growing quite well. Highly skilled people are in demand, and if you're not getting jobs, it's most likely just because you are bad at business. And being good at business is something that you can definitely learn, just like you can learn math or whatever. And so don't stress about it. Don't get frustrated. Instead of getting frustrated, put more work into your profile, into your proposals, whatever. Make it more high quality, increase your portfolio, and so on and so on. And you will definitely be successful. People will definitely hire you then. Okay. So other than that, then, that was all for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Make sure to check out some of the other videos on Eduonix. There are a ton. And yeah, so other than that, then, thank you very much for watching. This has been Arseni for Eduonix. Till soon.